Okay, good evening, students. So we can start the Good evening, students. So it's happy to meet you all. So first of all, I will give you a brief introduction about myself. I'm Chayani Gurunatha, a lecturer at Pasundrat National College of Education. I'm teaching English, phonology, guidance and counseling and education practice. So if I just give you a brief introduction about my educational background, I completed my BSc, Bachelor of Science in English medium. Then I completed my English and English language teaching with a second class. After that, I did postgraduate diploma in education, English medium. I got it from the University of Colombo. Then masters in linguistics from Kelaniya. Then masters in teacher education from Open University of Sri Lanka. Currently, I am reading for masters in management at Postgraduate Institute of Management attached to University of Japura, as well as I'm reading for my PhD. It's also from the same university, University of Sri Jawadanapura. So I hope that the students all here, so there are 19, and I would like to know your background. You can tell your name and your background. I just want to know whether you are teachers or whether you're going to be teachers, the prospective teachers, your interest in doing this. So please give me a brief introduction. Shall we start with Denushka?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Pata.
Yes, I'm Chatamani Danushka, and I have completed my diploma in education at International College of Education. And I'm still waiting for my appointments. And I'm from Gampaha.
So what's your College of Education?
Nilwala National College of Education.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay.
Thank you.
So then you are interested in completing your B.Ed degree here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, F. Silma.
Good evening, Miss.
Okay.
I'm Fatima Shilma from Damadeniya. I have completed my HND and 1 year teaching experience.
Okay, so are you working in a government school or an international school?
I worked at international and government.
6
months at international and 1 year at government school.
Right. Okay. That means you received your internship training from a government school and now you are working in an international school.
Yes.
Okay. What are your subjects?
English.
Okay, good. That's great. Harshani?
I'm Harshani from Kurunagala. I'm followed from HND in Naivala.
HND in?
Naivala.
Okay, so that means you're also doing English?
No.
What are your subjects?
I followed consumer science and product technology.
Then do you hope to be a teacher in the future?
Yes.
That's good. Great. Okay, so we'll go to Himesha Gunasekara.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Himesha. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I have completed HND in Consumer Science and Product Technology in Naivala in 2017. Currently, I work as a visiting lecturer in Ocean University. I'm from Maharganga.
Okay, good. That's great. Right. Ilma, so can we listen to you?
Good evening, madam. This is Ilma. I was doing my degree in social sciences at the Open University. Currently, I'm teaching in an international school.
Okay. What are the subjects?
I'm teaching Arabic literature and Islam.
Okay, good. Kanchana Idangoda. Miss Kanchana, can we listen to you? Okay.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Good evening, Pata. We can hear you. Continue.
With the power cut, I am Kanchana from Ratnapura. I have completed my national diploma in teaching in Nilwala National College of Education. Now I am teaching as a government teacher since my service is 8 years.
Okay. Where do you work now? What's the school? Kanchana, what's your school?
I'm working at Palmadula Dharmaloka Mahavidyalaya.
Okay.
I'm teaching English medium science.
Okay, that's great. Right. So we can go to
Thank you, madam.
okay. MHF Hasna.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Pata.
I am Hasna from Kendi. I'm a commerce teacher. I have completed National Diploma in Teaching at National College of Education.
Okay, good. Right. So then what are your subjects?
Commerce.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Mahisha Deepani.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Pata.
I'm Mahisha. I have completed my diploma of teaching at Nidwala National College of Education. I am still waiting my appointments.
Okay, right. Prashani.
I'm Prasansi. I'm from Kurunagala. It's in the Naival.
Okay, so what are your subjects?
Consumer Science and Product Technology.
Okay, that's good. Razina Zawahir.
Good evening, madam.
Okay, good evening.
I am Razina from Aranayaka. I have completed my national diploma in teaching in Atalji National College of Education.
Okay.
I am currently teaching in a government school for 5 years now. I am teaching science and maths as my subjects, and I hope to do my B.Ed in education from the institute.
Good, that's great. Sachini Kaushalya.
I am Sachini Kaushalya. I am from Pannala. I study at Naivala Technical College and subject Consumer Science and Product Technology.
Okay, so you hope to become a teacher in the future?
Yes, madam.
Okay, right. Savitri Vijayakon. Savitri.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
I am Savitri Vijayakon. I am from Kurunagala. I have completed my diploma in education at Ruanpura National College of Education.
Okay.
I got my appointments in 2017. I am working as an English medium ICT teacher since 2017 at a government school.
Okay. Sevandi. We have Sachini Kaushalya. Sachini Kaushalya.
Madam,
Sachini, we can hear you.
Yes, madam.
Did you talk earlier?
Yes, madam.
No, sorry. Okay, right. Sevandi.
Hello, good evening, madam.
Good evening.
I'm Nisha Sevani from Ambalangola. I have completed my diploma in mathematics at Siena National College of Education. That's it.
Okay, good. Taranga Liyanage.
I'm Taranga.
Taranga, yes.
Yes, I'm from Aturugiri, currently residing in Dubai. I have completed my MSc in HRM from Colombo University, and I have completed level 4 and 5 OTHM. I'm working as an early years teacher in Dubai in the British curriculum school.
Okay, good. That's great. Then Tharani Manohari. Tharani Manohari.
Good evening, ma'am. Sorry for there's some connection problem with my phone.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm Tharani from Homagama. Actually, I'm working as a English medium maths teacher in international school. I have done my early childhood education at Lyceum International Academy, and I have done my early childhood education at Mother's Touch International Academy. Then recently, I have finished my special needs education at Open University in Navala. Then very recently, I have finished my counseling psychology diploma at Apax Campus, Kandy.
My goodness, that's great. We can discuss lots of things. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Tilanka or Tilanka?
Good evening, madam.
Tilanka, yes, Tilanka.
I am Tilanka from Kandy. I am following HND in Naivala. My subject is consumer science and product technology.
Okay, good. Umar Ali?
Good evening, ma'am. I am Farvin from the Veligama. I have completed in HND in the Hivala. Now I am teaching in government school for 3 years.
Okay. What are your subjects?
English.
Okay, that's great. Right. So I think that's all. Did you all give a brief introduction about yourselves? Right. It seems that we all have given a brief introduction about ourselves. So let me show you a video. So we'll watch it. I will show you 2 or 3 videos because that guidance and counseling is a subject that we learn it in order to understand the minds of children and identify their problems and help them to overcome the problems. So let's watch each video and we'll have a discussion because these are all about teachers, right? Can you all hear and see?
Yes, madam.
Okay, that's great.
We can hear, ma'am.
Can't hear, ma'am.
Yes, Varsupata? Hello?
I can't hear properly, ma'am.
How about the others?
I also can't hear, ma'am.
Can't hear, ma'am.
Okay, so you can't hear the sounds, eh?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see what has happened. Can you hear now? There's a song going on.
No, still not.
It sounds.
sounds. Okay, give me 1 minute. I will share it again. Can you hear now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, we'll watch this. It doesn't matter. We don't need the voice, but anyway, that you just observe the action and we'll talk about it. Anyway, it's some other foreign language. We can't understand whatever it is, that you can watch the actions and we'll discuss. I'll see what's wrong with that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
The video is not being played for MS. Huh? I cannot see any. I just see your screen only.
Ayo, wait. We'll see. Okay, let me play it again. I will play from the beginning. I'm so sorry. If it is not played, we will do the lesson. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Madam.
Abuta?
It's a little bit glitching, but we can.
Okay, okay, that's great. How about the sound? You can hear the sound also.
Still not, ma'am.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Just watch this. Okay, right. So it doesn't matter if you did not hear anything, but you could watch the video and tell me that there are some strengths and weaknesses of that teacher. Let us discuss about the strengths first. What were the good qualities you observed in that teacher?
Teacher is helping to the poor student.
Right, that is one thing.
Then she is handling the students' mistakes very carefully.
Yes.
And handling that, guide the students well.
Okay.
Then she is helping to the students without others, without knowing. She is helping to the students. That's the strength of the teacher.
Okay. Who else would like to give some ideas?
She didn't give up her students in any situation.
Okay. Is there anybody who would like to add some more?
The teacher was trying to get her children right path.
Okay. Right. Any other ideas?
The teacher is a
yes, Buddha. Yes.
observer.
Yes. Yes. You can
Teacher is a good observer.
Good observer. Any weaknesses you identified in that teacher?
I think she treats her students very strictly.
Why do you say so? Strictly means why do you say so?
She punishes them, give punishments. Likewise.
So don't you think that we should sometimes we happen to punish the students? So don't you think?
Yes, we happen to punish, but we not to be allowed to use the stick. No.
Okay. Okay. Right. Any other student that you want to add more to that?
I think on that situation, the teacher wants to punish herself, that's her student.
Right.
Because she is punishing and observing the student.
Right.
So it's the right path to guide one of our students.
Right. So but don't you think that there's something wrong in her punishment? What's that?
She punishes in front of everyone.
That's great. She punishes in front of everyone. So what happened to that girl when she was punished in front of everyone?
She gets embarrassed.
Embarrassed, and she wanted to get revenge from the teacher.
Yes,
that's why she
was
ran away.
arrogant.
Yes, and she
when
ran.
When she pulls out that and her face was like she wanted to take a revenge from the teacher, and she was so much in her face, it was like arrogant. I was thinking that the teacher, I mean, as if we all are teachers, we should, if any of our students do any mistake, we should not punish them publicly.
That's
We
great.
should advise them privately or tell them or not to the others.
That's great. Yes. Now, because she wanted to get revenge from the teacher, but finally she was about to fall into a big problem, right? So therefore, that one thing that we need to keep in our mind, that we should not punish children in public. So we can talk to them privately and tell or convince their mistake, but not in public, right? So she had so many great qualities. She observed her children. She had some kind of idea about each and every child, about their background. That means there were some poor children that she observed that he was not having meals, so she helped him. And so she observed other children. That means now there was a child that who is very arrogant and aggressive. So then she could help him to overcome that arrogance because of her kindness. So she had so many good qualities. But there was another thing, that she punished a child in public. So we should not do that as teachers, right? So there is another one. I will show you one more. We'll watch it. It's also about a teacher. We'll discuss about that as well. You can share it. Okay, right. Can you all hear and see? Hello?
Cannot hear the audio, madam, but we can see the video.
Okay, doesn't matter. So
we can't hear, we can see, madam.
Yeah, okay, Buddha, yes, that's great. Doesn't matter. Good note. So next, my name is Sakshi and I'm working with young people. My name is, I was a doctor and my IQ is 1.5. I've got double. My name is Sakshi. I like dancing. My name is the school is giving you that. This will not need the class. You will. Every Okay, so now how do you feel about this class? As you watched it, how do you feel about this class?
Disrespectful students.
Yes.
And
okay, others also give ideas. How do you feel about this class?
This class is without teachers' control. The teacher is coming, the students are playing, but
Yes.
the teacher didn't take the responsibility.
Okay.
She is coming and teaching, but the students are doing their works.
Okay, others give you ideas. How did you see this class?
Those students, they don't want to pay attention to their education.
Right.
And they are so rude behavior.
Yes. So they were called as class of rowdies, right? So then if this is a notorious class in the school that everybody knows about these students. So this newly appointed teacher, she comes to the class. Now then on the first day that she knows that she can't control them. Now she used a technique. She says, I'm not going to teach now. From today onwards, you are going to teach whatever you are interested in the class, right? We'll see the difference.
Ma'am, anything? Yes. For the words and the deeds. Before that, one minute is going to be called
Okay. Right. Now, how did she change the behavior of the students? Okay. How did she change the behavior of the rowdies?
Making them to
space.
Yes, Buddha. Yes.
Providing like own space for their children, like it's totally different to the previous video. It was like always negative reinforcement. Here teachers with this positive reinforcement, like build their confidence, giving their space, providing opportunities.
Okay. Any other ideas?
She tries to identify their talents and capabilities because according to this video, those students have different talents. So I think she pays attention to the every single student.
Okay. Okay. Right. Any other students that who want to give you ideas?
I think she gave.
Okay, Savitri.
I think she gave the priority for them, and she was a good listener for them.
Yes, right. Any other ideas?
Miss?
Yes, yes, Tarani.
I think, ma'am, she was a very young teacher. She always trying to get the students' potential within them, as their puberty, they have different weaves and they want to show off their life. And in front of all young students, they have some, because of their young age, they wanted to show their colors and all. So I think that teacher has understood their mindset more than their physical conditions. So let all the students to free their lives in front of all the students. And I think that teacher has done set their lives free within the classroom.
Okay, right, good. Right. Then how do you feel about the girl that there was a girl, what's her name? Sarah. That everyone was, others are very forward. They were fighting, they were very forward. So, but this Sarah, so how did she manage to get her out from her cocoon? Did you see that she was seated near her? If you noticed?
Yes.
How did she manage to get her participation?
I think the teacher has encouraged that backward student to go front and open up their mind.
Another thing is, did you notice that she used to write poems, small poems?
Excuse me, I saw that she appreciated her without saying any word. She just wrote wow at the poem.
Yes, and it was a great encouragement to her. So then she always wrote poems at the end that you did not hear, but it was thanking about the teacher. She thanked the teacher for taking them out from that the box. So thank you for changing the rowdies. That she thanked her for doing that change in their lives. So then she says that when the other teacher asks, how did you manage to change this class of rowdies? Then she says that I created a space when everyone was judging them, right? Sometimes we judge the students and we look at them from that perspective. So we think that they are rowdies and how can we teach them? No use of teaching these students. But they have some needs. So we have to cater to their needs. Now she did that. So she wanted to give a chance to every student to showcase their talents, and that even she used those talents to teach the lessons. Now she's a science teacher. She wanted them to teach science. So then they were so happy because they were given a space to showcase their ideas and talents. So we also have to, there's something to think that sometimes our students are far ahead than us. So they have some talents that they are waiting to show them. So we should give them opportunities for them to come out. Any other thing you would like to add before starting the lesson? Because you all are going to be teachers, some are already teachers. What does it teach us?
Always physical punishment would not be effective for the students.
Yes, Buddha, always physical punishment
would not be benefited for them, for the students. And encouragements and praise of the students and make their mind happy will be the best opportunity for the students.
Right. Any other ideas from others who did not contribute?
Hello. The coordination among the students is very important and it lies in the hands of a teacher.
Yes, coordination, interaction. Okay. Is there anybody who would like to contribute? Right. So then we'll go to the lesson today. Okay. Guidance and counseling. Right. So then guidance and counseling. Now these are two different things, guidance and counseling. Right. So if we consider about guidance, we need can you all see the presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Guidance. Who gives guidance? Who gives guidance? And when do you need guidance?
To find the correct path.
Who gives guidance?
To someone master to the relevant.
Yes.
For the levels of human being, by one person can give that family wise or head of the family members, or the in a school wise we are teachers. For every level of human being can give the guidance to person to other person.
Yes, guidance we need from cradle to grave. From the day we were born until we die, we need guidance at different stages. Maybe when we go to school, sometimes now if there may be some people that you have encouraged you to apply for this course. That's also a guidance. So anybody can give guidance, parents, relatives, siblings, people in the society, our teachers, maybe your friends, peers. So guidance can be given by anybody, and we may need guidance at any time in our life, from the day we were born until we die. But when it comes to counseling, who can give counseling?
Professional counselors?
Yes, everybody cannot give counseling. So counseling can be given by only a professional counselor who has got a professional training. So then counseling is a special relationship between a counselor and the client, right? So this guidance and counseling has become an integral part of the education system. Integral part means that we essentially need them. So why do we need this guidance and counseling for the students? Especially now, the students have so many problems. So in some schools, there are counseling units. There are specially appointed counseling teachers to help them to solve their problems. Just give me this, answer this question. Can a person who gives guidance, now imagine there's a person who gives guidance, can he give ready-made solutions for a problem? A guide, can a guide give ready-made solution to a problem?
No, it depends on the problem, no?
Okay, any other answer?
No, they want to be observe the individuals, and after that only they can give the guidance.
Okay, right. Even that, now imagine I want to, now I'm waiting to apply for a B.Ed course. So I'm just searching here and there and I'm asking from this and that. And then finally somebody says, that this campus, that they are conducting B.Ed courses. Why don't you apply? So they can give some solutions, guides can give solutions, right? Even when we have problems, they can support us to overcome the problem. When it comes to counseling, can a counselor give a ready-made solution to a client's problem?
No.
No. What do they do? What do they do?
Actually, they can show the path to find the correct decision among the problem. They can't solve the problems of the counseling.
Right. Okay. Others' ideas?
Through guidance, one can show, one can give a solution for a problem. But through counseling, it can make a person to make their own decisions.
Very good. Right. Yes, yes. So counselor help the client to identify his problem and support or help him to find solutions by him or herself. They don't give ready-made solutions, right? But shows the path to find solutions for his or her problem. Okay. So we say that guidance and counseling is an integral part in education because especially if we consider about vocational guidance, right? Now in your case that you needed to do a B.Ed degree. So you needed some others guidance, or sometimes you might have gone to the websites and you have surfed the websites and found this university, right? So in order to find a course, in order to find a job, to follow certain courses, that we need some others guidance, right? Okay. Then not only that when it comes to career path, we need somebody's guidance. And again, that if we have personal problem, if we have educational problem, if we have some other problems, so we need the guidance and counseling of outsiders, right? It may be that one of your friends, or maybe your relative, or maybe your sibling, or a peer, or maybe a counselor, right? So normally we go to a counselor when we have problems that cannot be solved by the other people, right? Right. Now the objectives of this lesson is, so I have to explain the concept of education, define guidance, we discuss about counseling, and we interpret educational and occupational information. Right. What is education? Okay. Before coming to this, just you give me the idea of education. What is education? Because you are talking about education and learning, teaching process. What is education actually? Give your view about education. It doesn't matter, just talk. We can have an interactive session rather than listening. You tell me your ideas about education. What do you mean by education?
Learning process, learning anything.
Yes, it's a kind of learning. Education is learning. Apart from that, any other definition?
Changing the behavioral pattern of someone.
Yes, through learning, through education, we change the learning pattern of a person. Any other thing you want to add? Okay. Education is learning, right? So we learn. How do we learn? What are the ways that we use to learn? If it comes to acquiring knowledge, how do you acquire knowledge? Now, think of a small child. How does he learn to speak? He's acquiring the language. How does he acquire?
By hearing.
By
Yes.
hearing.
Yes, by hearing.
By imitating.
Imitating. Observing. By doing. Right, okay.
By listening.
Yes,
By
by listening. Yes.
By feeling.
By feeling. Right. So then, education, it's a process of acquiring language. We acquire language. We acquire skills, beliefs, values, and habits. We acquire them. From where do we acquire? From the society, from the family, right? So then, why do you think that education is essential to live in the society? Can't we live without education? Why do you think why it is essential to live in the society?
It helps students or whoever the person to face the challenges of their self.
Faces challenges. What else?
And it helps to get a deeper knowledge about some relevant things.
Education is something
yes.
To bring the desired changes in human beings.
Yes. Define changes.
To grow our skills.
Education helps to make a good person.
Okay. Now, if you consider about traveling in a train, right? Sometimes some people that they just drop things whenever they eat something, or the wrappers, they just drop. But if you have the right education, how do you behave? You know that if you just drop the wrappers or whatever, the leftover things in the train, so it makes the environment dirty and it makes unpleasant for the other people. So then, if we are rightly educated, how should we behave?
You have to follow the social ethics always, ma'am.
Yes, we have to follow the social ethics, right? And we have to give space for the other people. Sometimes that you may have seen, people always try to get their rights only. They don't think about others. But people who are educated, they don't behave like that. So they always think the needs of others, the rights of others, and even he just think whether this is correct, is it good to do, or whether this is, there are taboos and we should do these things, we should not do these things. So then a person who is educated, he always think of the do's and don'ts. He's aware of his duties, his responsibilities, right? So then does education confine only to school? Are we learning only from the school?
No.
From where do we learn? Where else we learn?
From family, from society.
From family, from society, from the peers.
Yes.
Where else?
From our own experiences.
From our own experiences. Even
from social media.
Yes, from social media, how many things we learn. Even I remember that during the COVID pandemic, we learned a lot of cookery recipes from the social media, right? So then we experienced, we just tried out some dishes that we have never eaten, okay, from social media, by reading books, even by listening to songs or speeches, by watching films, documentaries, even from news. So we learn lots of things from outside, right? So then education is referred to anything that one learns in an environment. When it comes to environment, it can be a school, it can be our friends, relatives, siblings, society, library, then by observing other people, right? Can be anything. Right? How can a person learn? Now we discussed. How can a person learn? From other people around them, right? Then from experience, you told that. From interaction, right? So by interacting, so by discussing with your friends, by interacting with your adults, that you learn, right? Okay. Any other idea that you can tell a person can learn? If you have some other idea, just give. Apart from these three things.
By mistakes.
Oh, that's great. We learn by mistakes. Yes, we learn lots of things. After doing mistake, we learn. Yes, that's great. Any other ideas?
It's from by books.
Yes, by reading
documentary.
Books. Yes, documentary, by reading books, by watching films, by watching various programs. Okay, you can add some more to this. Okay. Next we go. Education can be divided as formal education, informal education, vocational education, and special education, right? So then what do you mean by formal education?
That is the systemic organized education model, or it's under the one of the structure or administrated.
So the education we gain under an administration. Okay, what else you can add?
It has the curriculum, objectives, methodologies, like the treatment.
Yes, a formal education consists a curriculum. There are objectives, learning outcomes to be achieved. Then there are methodologies, teaching learning processes, techniques, right? So formal education has all these things. And finally, there are certain things that we can achieve, right? So then formal education is the education that takes place in a structured environment, like a school or an educational institute, right? Now, if we have a curriculum, so there are some units we decide. So during this period, we are going to cover these units and we are going to impart this knowledge from this content. And these are the objectives or learning outcomes we are going to achieve at the end. And we decide at the end of this course, the student will be able to do these things, right? So then, when are we starting our formal education? Normally in Sri Lanka, when do we start our formal education?
From the preschool age?
Yes, from the pre-grade that we have certain curriculum. We don't do different because that means pre-grade means that we have the kids pre-schools, but they don't have a curriculum. But once they come to the pre-school, they have certain things. They have certain lessons they have planned to teach. Right. So then when are we finishing this formal education?
University levels.
Yes, university level. Now here, there's no any age, because even we are 60 or 70, we can go to a university and learn, right? So they have a curriculum. Even B.Ed, they have a curriculum. MA, they have a curriculum. M.Ed, they have a curriculum, right? Sometimes there are practicals also, right? So then formal education in the school is mandatory. Now, in our country, what's the school age that is mandatory? Anivarya?
5 years old.
5 years old to?
13.
13?
16.
16 years old, right? So what will happen if the parents employ children up to 16 in our country, according to the law of our country?
It's violating the child's right, ma'am.
Right. So in our country, what actions can be taken?
They can take the action against the parents, as well as they can send the student for some rehabilitations or some places.
Yes. So then if the parents don't send their children to school, that education authority, that they can take actions, even the principals, they can file cases against the parents in our country. So then this education is mandatory, right? So then while that higher education is optional, so they can either complete their higher education, or they can go for some other jobs or vocational training. So that is optional. But formal education in our country is mandatory. So I think that's a very good thing, because there are some other countries, even the little children, 4-5 years, even they are 4-5 years, so they work as laborers. Now in that case, we are very lucky that in our country, that every child has the right for their education, right? Any other thing that you want to add to this? Your ideas? You don't have any other idea? Okay, let's go to the next one. Right. Formal education consists of formal curriculum, right? So then the major characteristic of formal education, that it is imparted by qualified teachers or trainers. But now here in our country, that even if you consider about tuition masters, sometimes they are not qualified. But anyway, they do the business. So they depend on the skill, the way they can attract the students. That depends on, because that there's no any quality, but they just go to the trend. They just do their business, and the students are also anyhow other, they are also attracted. Okay. So then this formal education is not limited only to what is taught in the classroom, right? What can you tell about this? This formal education is not limited only to what is taught in the classroom. Just give your views related to this. Because now this is totally changed. Now earlier that it was from jug to mug method, that teachers were considered as jugs full of knowledge, and mugs are empty. So that pouring from the jug to the mugs was the method earlier, but now it is totally different.
Ma'am, now most probably child-centered education happening in schools.
Yes. So then what kind of activities are going on under this child-centered education?
Yeah, they always created some activities related to the curriculum, co-curriculum activities. The hands-on experience is the best thing they can provide it to the students, and they are learning by doing things.
Okay, give some examples.
Right, okay. So, okay. Now, if the teacher wants to develop their social skills, So they can do that morning circle. I'm talking about the primary students, ma'am. So we can let them to talk about what they have done previous night, what they have talked their dinner table. And indirectly, we can we can develop their social interaction with others and communicate with others, like without explaining about what is social gathering with others, let students to come and be social without knowing that.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Any other ideas? Just give your views related to formal education. Is not limited only to what is taught in the classroom. Especially those who have followed mathematics, science, especially science, that there are so many students who have followed science diploma. Just come out with your ideas. Yes?
Making new inventions.
Okay, making new inventions. So you encourage the students to go for new inventions, right?
And finding problems through scientific methods.
Again, Puta, I couldn't catch what you said.
Finding solutions for certain problems using scientific methods.
Okay, right. So teacher gives a problem and let the students find solution.
Yeah.
So they can discuss and they can find a solution. Okay, that's good. Any other ideas?
Mathematics, we can.
Yes, Puta. Yes, one can talk now. Okay, tell.
Taking the students on field trips.
Yes, taking the children on field trips. Yes, there was another. Yes,
in mathematics, we can introduce one thing and we ask the students to create new idea from that one. For an example, we can put odd numbers adding. When we are adding the odd numbers, it's coming the even number. We are not introducing the theory. Just we are putting it. We ask to create students to create the theory. Like that we can do it.
Okay, that's good. Any other ideas? Because now being teachers, you can share lots of your experience here. Then others also can learn from you. So you lavishly give your ideas, then others can try out your experience. Who would like to contribute?
Ma'am, if we want to give the concept of the money, and we can create small fair, and we can let them to use money, give balance, and identify the rupees and the, like the coins and the notes. Within that environment, they are learning about why we need money and what is the nature of the like the text of that money paper, like money note kind of thing. As well as we can for the bigger classes, we can give some topic and let them to do a presentation. Either they can do some documentary on that, and they're surfing Google and they can find more details on it.
It's great. Very good idea. Okay. Any other ideas? No, see? Okay. Any other ideas? Right. Now we have new technology. And if you have heard about Google Classroom, so then in my case that I am using Google Classroom, so I have created a Google Classroom for each class. So for my English classes, I upload the activities beforehand and ask them to get ready and come prepared for the class, so that the larger part they do online when they are free. And when they come to the actual classroom, we do some physical activities, maybe that discussions, panel discussions, debates, so that some interactive sessions, forums, right? So it's called Plift Classroom. If you have heard about Plift, F-L-I-P-P-D, Plift Classroom. So that means the teacher that assign some activities, especially the videos or lessons that the teacher prescribe, the lessons or videos or whatever is related to the lesson. So students do their homework. Most part of it they study, they watch, they do some activities, and in the classroom, physical classroom, they do some interactive activities. So then it is not so. No, because of the new technology, we can do lots of things rather than teaching something small, that means something limited. We can open up the knowledge, because there's wealth of knowledge if we go to websites and if we read books. So we can let the students do self-studies, then come to the class and we can share our experiences and knowledge. Then anybody who is using Google Classroom, you can just try out, but in government schools, I don't think that is practical.
Yes,
Even
when the COVID season, we have prepared Google Classrooms for each class, and we added some activities for the students.
Yes, even you can use WhatsApp to the maximum. I think most of the teachers, they used WhatsApp to the maximum to send videos, to send activities to the students. So then, so they could learn all these things like they are learning in the physical classroom, right? So this, in one way, this COVID pandemic, they brought brought lots of positive things, especially this distant learning, right? Zoom, MS Teams, this WhatsApp, so that we got used to this technology because of this pandemic, right? So that's the positive side of this. Then formal education lays down a strict and disciplined way of learning, right? Because when we have a syllabus, when we have certain objectives, learning outcomes, we are trying to achieve them. So we have, so that means we are confined to these objectives, learning outcomes, and the content. Okay, right. Informal education. Okay, tell me your idea about informal education. What do you mean by informal education? Now, formal education, there's a curriculum, there are objectives, there are learning outcomes, then there are learning teaching methodologies, teaching techniques. But when it comes to informal education, what can you tell about that?
No any formal curriculum or structure. And other one is the teacher is not with the more experience. Simply that parent or grandparent or and like that we are getting the education, that is we can say informal education.
Okay. Can't we do informal education in the school? Are we only doing learning according to a syllabus in the school? Don't we do any other informal education thing in the school?
Yeah, sports one, sports, doing sports is an informal way of it. Sports, through sports also we can make informal, I mean, students get informal educations.
Okay, what kind of informal education do they get through sports?
Skills development, social interactions.
Right.
Habits, I mean, behavioral patterns and all. Through that, by doing sports, they get, they develop self-discipline and all.
Organizational skills, helping each other, sharing, caring. Okay. Apart from sports meet, what else we can do in the school?
Develop the discipline.
What are the other activities that we can use? What activities do you do in your school for informal education? Now, one is sports meet. We don't have a curriculum, but we do, and we learn lots of skills. We gain knowledge. We improve our attitudes. We know that through sports that we can't win all the time. Sometimes we have to be defeated, but from there also we learn certain things. We share, we care. So then we learn lots of things through sports meets. What else you do in your school?
Exhibition.
Ramadan exhibition. English camps.
Societies.
Societies.
Clubs,
yes, clubs, societies.
Celebrating festivals.
What's that, Pata?
Celebrating festivals.
Yes, celebrating festivals, even that we have different days, Commerce Day, Arts Day, Science Day, English Day.
By organizing educational trips.
Oh, educational trips, yes.
By leadership methods and programs likewise.
Yes, through leadership programs, positive thinking programs, right? So what do we improve from all these programs?
Cooperative.
Yes, cooperation, teamwork.
And how to respect for other ideas.
How to respect others' ideas.
Leadership qualities. Leadership qualities.
Leadership qualities.
Attitudes and skills.
Attitudes and skills.
Toleration.
Toleration, tolerate others.
Problem solving.
Problem solving. Confidence. Okay, that's great. You have very
self-confidence.
Self-confidence, yes. Right. Okay. Informal education is the process a person develops positive attitudes, develops skills, cultivate values, and acquire knowledge. Now, if you consider about sports meet, there that we learn to accept both victory and defeat in the same spirit. So we know that we can't win all the time. So there are some certain occasions that we have to accept the defeat. So what happens if people cannot accept the defeat, if they expect only the victory? Now, in some countries, when the cricket team get defeated, that they can't bear it up. They even burn their houses, hit the cricketers.
Mentally, they will disturb.
Yes. So then through these sports, we learned that we can't always win. We have to accept both the victory and defeat in the same spirit. And sometimes participation is only in Olympics. They encourage participation. Their motto is that participation is the most important thing, right? So even that they learn to interact with others, listen to others, respect others' ideas, share things with them. Caring. Now, sometimes when the sports person falls, so others, they run and helps him. Right, help him. Okay. Parents and other adults in the family and community help the younger one to grow and adapt to the environment. So that is also informal education. Now, the child acquire language through informal education. The child learns taboos, don'ts and do's and don'ts, yes and no, and some habits and customs, traditions, they learn from the family, from the society, right? So if we consider about the habits and customs in the Western province is different from Northern province, Eastern province. So they have their typical habits and customs to their societies. Right? Informal education is knowledge that one gains spontaneously, right? So that means we don't make any effort to learn. This informal education helps us to acquire. Now if we consider about these traditions, customs, habits, we don't learn with much effort. We learn from our parents. We just observe them and learn. If we consider about our New Year rituals that we do at New Year festival, that we have learned from our parents, right? Okay, informal education happens without a conscious effort. So we don't make much effort like that we are doing formal education, that we don't try our best to by heart and pass the exam. So do homework, and also we learn lots of things from informal education by observing others, by interacting with others. Informal education is not imparted in formal education institutes and can be learned anywhere. So then informal education can be anywhere. So even during a trip, we learn certain things, some ethics, some habits, some traditions we learn when we go to certain parts of the country, right? So there's no prescribed curriculum for informal education. If you consider about English Day, English camp, sports meet, there's no any formal curriculum, right? Then this includes incidental learning. That means sometimes we learn while working, while traveling, while playing, right? The learning can take place by watching films, television, listening to the radio, by talking with others, listening to a speech of a person. Now, if you listen to very good speeches of Obama and some these kind of scholars, that you can learn lots of things, right? Right. Now we gain informal education by observing others, listening to others, discussing with others. Just give some ideas. How do you gain informal education? These are only 3 points. You can add some more.
Imitating others.
Imitating others. Now, as an example, if you think that now you go to a place, you see that some of using cutlery. You have never tried. So you can just look at them. You can imitate them. How to hold the fork, spoon, the knife. Okay, right. Imitating others. What else? When you are interacting with others, you learn lots of things, right? By associating people. Okay. We'll go to vocational education, right? So then, just tell me some vocational education institutes in Sri Lanka.
NITA.
NITA.
ATI.
What's that?
Advanced
Technological Institute.
Advanced Technological Institute, right? Yes. ATI.
German Tech.
German Tech.
VTA.
VTA, Vocational Training Institute. NIBM. Technical colleges. Lalita Thulat Mudali Vocational Training Institute. Vocational Training Authority, VTA. Right. So then, vocational education, what do they give us? Yes. Okay. Tell me, vocational education, what do they give us?
They have to develop a skill within a person.
Yes, they develop skills. Do they have a curriculum?
Yes.
Yes, they have a curriculum. Yes, they have. Right. So they have a curriculum. So they, through that course, they develop skills. Right. So mainly skills. So if you, as an example, right, imagine if you want to do a job related to computer. What should you do first? What do you do first? Now you want to do, you are interested in doing a job related to computer hardware or software or whatever it is. So what would you do first?
We should improve our IT knowledge.
Yeah, so now you want to improve your IT knowledge. So what is the first step that you do?
Ma'am, they need to do the practical activities on it.
Yes, that you need to improve your practical activities. Now what is the first thing that you do? You
should select one institute or anything to improve our IT skills.
Yes, we just check, or we just find the best place that cater to our needs. Now we find where we can find a course that, now if your target is to become a software engineer, that you just find a place where I can improve my knowledge. What's the best place, right? So you get guidance from somebody, or else you can surf the internet and find the best place, right? Then you follow the course, you gain the qualification, then you apply for the job, right? That is the path. Okay. Vocational education is imparted to teach a specific art or skill. So we improve skill by following vocational education because it's a practical course. So then it is based on a particular training. So we undergo a training. It may be 6 months, 1 year, or 3 years, right? So then now from the vocational education institutes, that what's the qualification they offer us? What's the qualification?
Is it NVQ levels, ma'am?
Yes, NVQ levels, National Vocational Qualifications, right? So they offer us NVQ level certificates, right? Then knowledge is imparted in a formal or an informal manner, or a combination of both, right? So then sometimes we have we follow the curriculum, that there we have formal education. So sometimes we have practicals. So we have certain interactive sessions. So there we learn from both formal and informal way. Right, okay. We'll go to the next one. Special education. Okay, what else you can add to vocational education? If you have any other idea that you can add to vocational education? No, any other idea?
Is it a job-oriented one, ma'am?
Yes. So now if you are searching for a job, that now there are certain vocational institutes that after the training, after the course, they provide you with the training. So they give you a 6 months training. So that is also very, very important, right? That training. Then sometimes during that period, you may find a job or in the same place, or you can find a job outside, right? Okay. So then what do you mean by special education?
We use special tools or techniques to teach.
Here, it is very much.
Is it educating a student who is disabled?
Yes, special education is teaching students with special need. There are special
needs. Yeah, those who are with some difficulties.
Yes. So then if we consider about special need children, what kind of problems do they have, as you have heard or seen?
Some students are Down syndromes.
Yeah, Down syndrome.
Autism.
Autism.
Abnormalities.
Low IQ. Yeah, some have low IQ rate because they just the appearance is like the normal children, but
hyperactivity.
Yes, there are hyperactive children with autism. Down syndrome, low IQ
mentally retarded ones.
mentally retarded children.
Ma'am, some have dyslexia and dysgraphia kind of learning disabilities.
The learning disabilities.
The learning disabilities, dyslexia, dysgraphia. So they have difficulties in writing, difficulties in reading. Then some have vision impairments, speech impairments. Then what else?
Hearing difficulties.
Hearing difficulties. Okay. So then in some schools, there are special education units where these the specially need children are educated. And sometimes we have inclusive education. What do you mean by inclusive education?
They are learning with the normal students.
Yes, they are learning with the normal students. So in some countries like Canada, that they have a teacher for each child. They are in the same class, but that teacher helps the specially need child. But in our country, sometimes a teacher keeps a child near her table while she's teaching the rest of the students. The teacher helps the specially need child. But most probably that I don't think that they do a good job, because they can't do it with when she's handling other 45 students, and she can't pay much attention to that child. Because I have experienced that when I go for internship supervision in some schools, there are some Down syndrome students. So even our students, that they give some activities, but they have
Ma'am, can't hear you.
Yes, we also can't hear anything.